Welcome to Speculation Sunday on this beautiful Sunday, Easter Sunday. We got Just Ask Danny in the house. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I think I'm a little delayed, so we'll have to work with it.
All right, all right. It says John Cena, 17-time champ. Did he just win? I don't have Peacock, so I have no clue. I don't know what's going on. I think it's on Peacock. Are you into wrestling right now, Danny, or you don't care?
No, yeah.
I didn't even. Maybe John Cena was the main event. What's up, my Alyssa? Today's Walk Channel, so calorific. What's up, Michelle? Happy Easter, happy Easter, happy Easter, and happy Sunday, everybody. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us on this beautiful Sunday. I'm excited. We are on the verge of greatness. The theme parks are really about to come to life. Especially Universal. Next week, we have FanFest debuting Friday. Friday is going to be the big day to finally see everything come to life. If I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a team member preview Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. So I don't know if they're allowed to film. I hope they are, so we could see how everything is. And I can't wait to kind of get a good understanding of how everything's going to play out. Also, too, I could imagine Disneyland has to start decorating Disneyland for the 70th. So we're going to see a lot of details come to life. Main Street, the castle, the Esplanade, DCA in general. We're going to hear rumblings about Paint the Night testings and stuff. It's going to be really cool. Really, really cool. WrestleMania sucked. Only thing worthwhile was the Cena match. Damn. Well, that'll be the only one I'll look for highlights, I guess. Have you watched the Last of Us episode? I have not, but I've heard it's really good. So, are you gonna watch Last of Us, Danny?
Yeah. I haven't started this season yet, so.
Melissa says, let's talk about how Tokyo went harder and better with their Star Wars celebration. They really know their target audience very well. Did you have a chance to get like any of the news or just the footage coming out of Star Wars Celebration?
No, the only thing I heard of was like I know just in Japanese like events and things like that in general, they tend to be pretty regimented, pretty strict to the rules and like waiting in line and stuff like that. And the only complaints I saw that were echoing pretty like regularly on social media surrounding this event was that they were being very like militaristic in the meet and greets that people wait for to meet the actors, and not really giving them the opportunity to like to take photos and interact with them the way they do here in the US, which kind of rings true too with like characters. I was talking to people that went to Tokyo Disney and they don't even allow you to take more than one photo with the character. They only allow you to take one photo, and they will know if you take more than one photo, and they'll like make you delete it. So it's like it's pretty crazy. So that's the only thing I saw was like there was a lot of complaints about how they were handling meet and greets, and there was like of course TikToks being published about like nightmare scenarios and stuff like that. But I guess they announced that Star Wars Celebration is coming back to California the next year.
Yeah, well, talk about Star Wars Celebration. New destinations coming to Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. Did you have a chance to like look into that too, Danny?
I did. I saw Scott Gustin post about it, and then I saw some more information. So it looks like what they're doing is they're going to be redoing the engineer role. So now the engineer role is a little bit more maybe in demand. It was before kind of the position that like if you went single rider, you're pretty much guaranteed to get shoved into that spot. But essentially, the engineer is going to be the one that's taking care of baby Grogu during the flight. So I don't know what that entails, whether you're like feeding him or taking care of him. But the little screenshot that they showed showed like your engineering screen has a little like outline of baby Grogu on it, and I'm not sure exactly what it is you do, but according to Scott, he said you now have the most important job.
Yeah,
Interacting and caring for the Grogu.
uh, engineer role on Millennium Falcon will soon have the most important job in the galaxy, interacting with and caring for Grogu. The new responsibility will be added with the Mandalorian inspired story, which is May 22nd, 2026. Uh, Dude, people are going to go crazy to see this like image on the right side. Like, how do you even focus anymore? Once you see Mandalorian right next to you like that? Uh,
Yeah.
he also
And
posted.
then another thing they posted too was
Oh,
that
it's
you're going to
got.
be able to
Oh, I never saw this, Danny. This image.
yeah,
I
the
thought
little
that was
image. That's what I
fake.
said.
Cause like I never know what's AI anymore. Oh wow, this is from Laughing Place. Here
Yeah.
here are the images.
So essentially, you'll get to pick which planet you're going to. I don't know how that's going to work, but that was in the tweet as well too. The first tweet that he posted um, talked about kind of recapping what they said. But after taking off from Batu, guests will choose, or after taking off from Batu, you'll visit Tatooine, and then the crew chooses either Bespin, Endor, or Coruscant. So you can kind of make sure you pick different ones each time if you wanted to kind of go through it multiple times.
Wow. How do you choose between three destinations? That's kind of crazy. Uh, they're really making Smuggler's Run feel like a different ride because what we've had for like 4 or 5 years is the same ride through. Uh, there's no changing. It's just the same. It's the same ride. This is now becoming like Star Tours esque, where updates are coming. Um, I'm happy with it, Danny. This is looking very, very cool, dude. We even got more images. Yeah, I don't know what to make out of all this and how it's going to come to life. This scene looks badass. Whatever this is going to be, man.
So, just a little correction for what we said earlier, Mondo. They announced the location for Star Wars Celebration in 2027, which isn't next year, but the year after. So it's going to be at the LA Convention Center this time, not Anaheim.
They're going bigger.
And and it's going to be April 1st through April 4th.
Wow, Star Wars Celebration. Uh, I'm happy. I'm happy with Celebration. All these movies got announced and like a couple shows, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, we've been down this road before with Star Wars Celebration and things being announced, and they just don't happen. So uh, it's hard to really get excited for Star Wars stuff. We got a super chat from Johnny dropping 5. Johnny, happy Easter, everyone. Cena breaks the record, 17-time champion. This has to be on Twitter already. WWE. Let me look this up real quick. 17-time champion? Let me see.
Moment of truth. Remember John Cena? Cena had said a little
bit. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Where did this match at? I just want to see the end. Oh, there we go. I guess it's here.
Because John Cena had no issue tonight being...
I don't want to show too much because I know they'll copyright me, but 17-time champ John Cena. Congratulations. I thought he's retiring, though. He's going to keep going now, or he's just going to retire on the top? How's that going to play out? Let me see. News story that posted on Disney Parks blog says Hondo is looking for a bounty or something. There was a Parks blog? I don't know. I've been out of touch with all this Star Wars stuff. I'll have to look into that, but I think it's great. All this stuff coming to Smuggler's Run is good. This should have been from the beginning, honestly. Um, let me see. All right, we're gonna get to the juicy news that has happened today. We're gonna go to Horror Nights. Uh, the most random thing to talk about on Easter, but Halloween Horror Nights. So, shout out to HHN 365 for dropping a new speculation map. I take these maps pretty serious now because they've been so accurate. It's been kind of insane. Things have been moved around from previous map. The things that are still notable is the trash bags have stayed. And that's been Terrifier. That's been the big rumor. And the other one is Five Nights at Freddy has now been moved to Curious George parking lot. Which originally it was over there at the T-pad, which they call Transformers. But to see Terrifier and Five Nights at Freddy stick around, I think that's huge. Danny, let's hear some of your thoughts on what's going on here in this map, and I'll tell you what people have been saying too, like about all the speculations they're making. But give us your thoughts, dude. What do you think, man?
Yeah, well, we just got the latest speculation on the map there on the left-hand side, which is the clue we got was the wrestling ring, like on the background there, and then a casket in the foreground. So that's supposed to be potentially like the Undertaker, a wrestling themed maze, which I'm all for. That'd be really, really cool. I love that Five Nights at Freddy's is sticking around. I really, really wanted that maze inside a studio, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. So I just hope that that particular maze is going to be air conditioned because Walt Disney World, I mean, Orlando's Universal can do it. We got to do it because we're seeing well over 100 most of the time now in September, and with costumes as big as the Five Nights at Freddy's costumes, like we're gonna need not only for the actors, but like we're already all gonna be dead waiting in line for those mazes because they're outside. Like we're not gonna be waiting in a cool air conditioned building like we were for for the weekend. So that's gonna have the longest line guaranteed. Like it's gonna be longer than Terrifier, no matter what anyone tells me. It's just gonna be the longest one. And
real quick, HN Nightmares made this map. My bad. HN Nightmares.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say clarify. But keep going, Dan. Keep going.
So that's the tent with the cooling system that we saw, I hope. Maybe. Some people were saying that the tent is the speculation still going around, Mono, that maybe the tent with the cooling could be Yeti? Is that still a thing?
No, I think it's died now, dude. With this new map from HN Nightmares, let me bring up the cooling system because that we've never seen that. I never seen it on a maze, but it all kind of makes sense now why there's like a cooling system. Hold on, I'll bring it up right now. Where did I post it? Where did I post it? Man, did I not post it? What's going on? Oh, my Lanta. I'd be tweeting too much. I gotta go so far back. Where's this?
So we're seeing Terrifier on the Mummy. Parisian's gonna be the Island of Dolls. What's the Ube venue?
Ube is Walking Dead. Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. So Walking Dead is the WWE, and then Terrifier Tram is what now with the tent?
Terrifier is
no. What's the Terror Tram? Sorry.
Terror Tram. They're saying like it could be killer clowns. It could just be clowns in general. Some original clown idea. Other people were saying it could be it was like a scare zone that was here recently. Is it called Slaughter? Something Slaughter. I can't remember anymore. My
And
brain's
then what's the light bulb?
Poltergeist. You ever seen that movie?
Poltergeist. No, no. So Poltergeist would be right next to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Sideshow Slaughterhouse, which was the Fire Tower Scare Zone. I can't remember. Maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago. But the cooling system, I think, is like, why do we need that? Why? Why do we need that? Is because animatronics. Let me ask you this, Danny. Do you think Horror Nights goes video game or they go Blumhouse movie? What do you think?
Probably Blumhouse movie.
I'm kind of leaning more they go the video game. Just because Last of Us, they instead of doing the show, they went for the video game. So I don't know. I'm just kind of saying it like that.
Well, the only thing I say is because they're trying to promote another movie, and Universal makes the movie, so
it makes total sense. It makes total sense. Firehouse Slaughter was October. We're talking about Sideshow Slaughterhouse. Maybe it was a typo.
No, he said Firehouse Slaughter was October 2022.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Scare Zone Sideshow Slaughterhouse. It had clowns. I'm assuming Blumhouse movie, but potentially some theming to the sequel. Okay, let's just get into this one, Danny. If this is Five Nights at Freddy, it's going to be brutality in this corner of Horror Night. Like, it already sucks to walk over there. And if this is Five Nights at Freddy, big crowds, Poltergeist, for whatever reason, is going to have big crowds because nobody's just going to do one maze and get out of there. They're going to do both mazes. So we're talking probably 2-3 hour waits right here. To me, that sucks, Daddy. It's just
is this the same pad? Is this the same pad as Chucky, just turned a different direction?
No,
or is it the same
direction. Same direction?
Same direction. Okay.
Yeah.
So because it's on that side, at least we don't have to wait in the structure. So that's good. Because they were putting people in the structure last time for Insidious, and that one was dangerous. People were passing out in the structure because that thing just traps the heat. So,
dude, all I'm thinking is like, man, you have to hit these mazes as the first thing you do of the day because there's just no way everybody's gonna pile over there throughout the whole night.
But then when you hit them first thing, that's when they're the hottest.
they got
because I learned that lesson. I went to Horror Nights on opening night last year, and I did Ghostbusters, the first maze, during early entry, and it was 105 degrees, and it was probably 118 in the tent, and the tent was themed to Ghostbusters Frozen, whatever the heck it was. And it was like you're dying in the tent. I literally thought I was gonna pass out in the tent. I was like, dude, how are these actors doing it, let alone me trying to walk through here?
Dude, and actors are like head to toe suited, you know what I mean? Like they got
I immediately I looked at Insidious and the fact that people were waiting in line in the structure and it was like 100 some degrees, and I immediately just left and I didn't even bother. I went back down to the lower lot. I went to the lower lot and did the weekend maze because it was air conditioned.
Yeah, weekend would be nice to start at. So let's keep going with these houses. The one on the left, which you mentioned earlier, Ube venue. That one now. At first, this is what my thoughts were initially. I was like, a coffin. This has to be a vampire. And then I realized, I was like, wait, that looks like a wrestling ring. So vampire wrestlers. And then the thought came,
the Undertaker.
Well, we had luchadores, Universal Monsters, in the Scare Zone last year, so I was like, maybe it's that. But everybody on Twitter is just like Undertaker, Undertaker. How do you feel about Undertaker coming to Horror Nights? Like, so, to me, it's super random. Like, what?
I love that
Undertaker?
maze. I think it would be super cool. It's gonna have, metal music. Just like I can just imagine like metal music, strobes, and just like total jump scares. It would be so much fun. That'd be like one of the fun mazes for sure.
I was telling Danny like before we went live, I was like, talk about just bringing this whole new fandom to Horror Nights. Like I don't want to say like WWE fans don't go to Horror Nights, but like they're gonna now. You got Undertaker coming to Horror Nights in 2025. That's a big deal.
Mhm.
WrestleMania just happened to
Yeah,
humongous
when you see the crowds at WrestleMania, Universal's probably like, I want that.
There's been a lot of cross promotion with Epic Universe and WWE this past like couple days. So and they've been doing wrestling on Peacock for a while. So
Yeah.
the connection's there. It's there.
Christopher D said Undertaker's already had a maze in the past, and Hollow Pine said they just put Undertaker in Fortnite too. So I guess their branding is really expanding.
Wow, Fortnite, dude. Damn, Undertaker like making a crazy. I don't want to say a comeback, but like he's just relevant. Big deal.
When we used to play the wrestling games, I used to always play as him.
Yeah, dude, I love Undertaker. I would do Undertaker, The Rock. I like Mankind too. Just the sock in the mouth. Oh, that's crazy. To keep going on this map, the other big news is right here. T-Pad. That one, everybody's saying Scarecrow. Like, I don't even know how we could guess it's something else. I think it was HHN 365 that was pointing out that it looks like pretty much the walkthrough of Scarecrow. Like they're building it. It looks like Scarecrow. The entrance looks like Scarecrow. I had a chance to look at it recently too. Let me see if I could bring it up.
Is that the one? That's the one with the birds pooping on you, right?
The birds poop on you, Danny. Did you like Scarecrow? I already know the answer, but what do you think of Scarecrow?
I did. I liked it, and also more importantly, it's going to be opening at Halloween, the Horror Nights Unleashed or whatever it's called over in Vegas.
Yes. Yeah. Did I not post it? I could have sworn I did. Man, I don't even know what I post anymore on Twitter. It's like
Gomes, we already talked about Five Nights at Freddy's. It is on this speculation map. It is one of the two mazes in the Curious George pad. So the two over there would be Five Nights at Freddy's and Poltergeist. Supposedly. Speculation. Nothing confirmed.
let me bring it up. I just want to show it. Since we're talking about it, I want to show it real quick.
And then Christopher D said, Mondo, if you want to look it up, HHN year 2000, the maze was called Undertaker No Mercy.
Did people like it though? That's my question. I'm not saying it's bad or nothing, but did people like it? Right here, Danny, right here. Look at this. So I had a chance to do the studio tour, and this is 2 days ago. So this is what people are claiming is, or people are speculating, this is Scarecrow. But I had a chance to look at it very close right here. Watch. Right there. Boom. Are we going to have birds pooping on you? Because I remember, I would have to go through one of my update videos, but I remember that structure doing updates whenever Scarecrow came. And,
look at this, Mondo.
And it looked just like that. It looked just like that.
Look at this, even more speculative right here.
Let me see. You texting it?
I already texted it.
Let me see.
So, WWE Vault channel the Vault channel official, they posted the year 2000 walkthrough of that maze just 6 months ago. Why would they do that?
What?
Why would they do that?
6 months ago?
Yep. 6 months ago.
What the heck?
Fast forward it, you can see like he goes in the maze, talks about it.
Hold on. I pressed the wrong button. What?
The Undertaker's achievements in horror. It's called The Undertaker No Mercy. And The Undertaker was there.
Dude. What in the random carnation?
Why else would they post that?
Why would Horror Nights post this literally 25 years ago? 6 months ago? What?
Let's see it. Let's see it a little more.
Universal Studios Hollywood for Halloween. Here we are, Universal Studios Hollywood for Halloween Horror Nights. And we're checking out the new Undertaker No Mercy maze. It's a time capsule of fright and fear that lets you know why it is that I'm such a dark person, dark character. This is actually a replica of the house where I grew up as a child. How are you doing? So I don't remember this guy being here, but this guy I do remember. You know.
It's the Undertaker house. Danny, you there's no way to argue it's something else now, dude. Wow. Maybe that'll be their thing. 25-year anniversary. It's been 25 years since we've had it. Dang. That's wild. That's wild. Well, you could just book it. Undertaker, Ube. Wow. That's crazy. All right, back to Scarecrow real quick. Scarecrow coming back. I'm just going to assume it's probably the same Scarecrow. Scarecrow at Horrors Unleashed? Is this just too much Scarecrow, Danny? Like, what the heck? We just had it not that long ago. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would be totally for this. But I'm like, we just had this maze. But then again, like, Knott's Berry Farm redoes their mazes year after year until they've reached a point where they retire them. So, and I wouldn't be mad to see it come back. And, you know, they're never going to do it exactly the same. They're always going to add some special new love to the maze. So I'm for it. I'm not against it. The only maze I don't want to see come back yet is anything to do with Halloween. I don't want nothing Halloween. At least give me another year off. I don't want no Halloween this year. Then we can have it. We can have it again next year. But I don't want anything to do with Michael Myers.
Doesn't it feel like when Michael comes, he's gonna be here for like 5 years, dude?
Yeah, like when Michael comes, every year we're gonna have one. Yeah.
If it's Scarecrow, I'm good with it. It is what it is. As a returning maze, talk about a heavy hitter. It was a great maze when it was here, so
yeah, everyone loved it, and there's a reason why it's going to Horrors Unleashed. Like,
it was a banger.
It's a banger. Yeah, people liked it, so I think it would do extremely well. And to be honest, too, we have to think about that year. Like, that was truly one of the first years back to horror after the pandemic. Truly, like in its true form, in the best way possible, and so, like, a lot of people weren't really ready to come back to that yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember that year. A lot of people didn't want to go, you know, because remember 2021, we were still in the pandemic, and theme parks were still closed in 2021. They opened in 2021. So that was like the first year. So a lot of people didn't get to experience it. So maybe that's their like method behind it. Like, you know, bring it back because people didn't experience it. So.
That is true.
I don't know.
That is true. People, they weren't even going to touch a theme park at that time. They're just not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I could see that. We got a super chat from Johnny. The past 2 years, you get Peacock free when you buy HHN ticket for 6 months. Remember, everyone, hopefully they do it this year. I'm sure they will. I feel like everybody that got the 6 months of Peacock, they all forgot to cancel subscription or cancel the renewal, and then they just end up with a full year of Peacock paid. I think it happened to my girlfriend. But that's true. You do get 6 months, so use it up. If you check your Horror Night email, if you bought a Frequent Fear. But thank you, Johnny. It's a good point. We also got Chemo Dog Theater dropping a super chat. Praying Unknown is Universal Monsters. It's the 100th anniversary of Phantom of the Opera. And John Murdy is a big nerd to skip it despite Epic Universe. Okay, Chemo Dog, let's ask the question. Let's ask the question right now. Soundstage 12, that usually is like their big IP, their big heavy hitter, whatever the heck it's going to be. They throw it in there. That's behind it's the soundstage behind Transformers, where we've had The Weeknd, Stranger Things. Do you think they saved that spot for Phantom of the Opera, Danny? Phantom of the Opera just, I guess he just gets his own maze. Could that happen? 100th year anniversary? They show love like that?
Is that the weird maze you have to cross the street to get to?
No. That one is gonna be. Oh wait! My bad. You're right. That is the weird maze. You got to cross the street. My bad. Damn, I got it mixed up. I forgot the Fallout is Soundstage 15. Man, I'm getting all mixed up. Unknown is Eternal Bloodlines. Nobody wanted to walk over there. I take it back. Yeah. I'm all mixed up right now. I was reading.
Yeah. So that building, since that building birthed Universal Monsters, I would imagine it's probably going to be something Universal Monsters related, because I feel like John Murdy and their team really wants to keep like the legacy there for that. So I feel like that's what we're going to see.
Maybe that's just Universal Monsters always. As long as he uses it, he's like, that's where the history's there. They just gonna keep doing it there. But like, can Phantom of the Opera carry a whole house by himself, or do you think we get a versus? You know, because John does do the versus.
Yeah, or it could be the verses, or it could be just like a combination of the two. Remember, we had the like Dracula and the Wolfman, like maze and all that stuff. So it could be one of those.
Like, I don't even know what I would want out of Phantom of the Opera. Like, what iconic scenes you want out of it? I don't even know. I think Universal Monsters is going to be here. It seems like they've been here for like 5 years in a row now, maybe more. So I would say Soundstage 12 is Universal Monsters. Some people online were saying the reason they don't want to announce or give hints to Soundstage 12 house on these maps is because maybe that's John Murdy's Midsummer Scream announcement, where he just goes into detail and that's the big banger for Midsummer.
Right.
All right, let's keep going. I know some of these we already kind of have an idea, but yeah, this is the last one I want to talk about for right now. Fallout. Did you watch the show, Danny? Was that something you were interested in?
I played the video game.
Is it worth being a house? Some people go super crazy. They're like, yes, it is. There's so much monsters and blah blah. To me, I watched the show, so I'm like, we're gonna get a house out of this? What? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it seems weird to have two video game houses in one year.
And that's another thing. We've never had two video game houses. We only had one, so this would be like the first two video game year.
I don't know. Yeah, because of that, I just feel like it's an up in the air for me. I'd be fine with it either way.
Fallout. I'm cool with it. It's something new. Anytime it's something new, I'm always excited because we've never seen it before. But we'll go deeper into this map a different time. Just wanted to bring up some of the stuff we have now. All right. I want to move on. I want to go into this real quick. So, Danny, FanFest is Friday, and everybody knows that the clock tower is going to be the big shebang. That's where all the activities are going to be happening. Marty McFly, they've like teased the DeLorean, 88 miles per hour, fire trails, the lightning strike moment at the clock tower, all that good stuff. And this week, I caught that the Back to the Future, it's actually expanding on the other side of this lower lot. And they're putting photo ops everywhere. And I think I have a better photo. Yeah, this is just a different angle. This kind of makes more sense of how they're going to do the dropping off and picking up of people. What I wanted to tell everybody, and Danny, I want to hear your opinion. People have been reaching out to me. They've been reaching out to me of like how this whole thing is going to work. This Back to the Future stuff. And this is what somebody said. All right. It could be totally wrong, but this is what I'm hearing. That the event might play out like a 45-minute experience. And we're talking about Back to the Future. We're not talking about nothing else. It might play out like a 45-minute experience. Lightning strike moment happens. All these other special moments happen in that 45-minute experience. And everybody has to go. Nobody could stay. You have to go. Because originally it was kind of talked about as if you want to just hang out at the Back to the Future all day, you can. So that's why it's kind of like, do I believe that one? Because Universal said it. I want to say yes. Or do you think they're like, hey, this is not going to work out. Too many people are going to be wanting to camp Back to the Future. And we have to figure out a way to just keep the crowds moving and let everybody experience it. What are your thoughts on all of that?
I mean, it's kind of like the studio tour in and of itself, right? Like that alone is almost sometimes an hour experience. So you kind of you're committed to it all. So that's my least favorite thing about this whole idea, and it's always been my least favorite thing about the Terror Tram, is that like I don't want to be like stuck there and like waiting in long lines to come back. And so you have to because you kind of have to plan your whole night around like, when am I going to do this? And also like, if Back to the Future is important to you, like you don't really care. You're probably going to want to be there longer. Trying to squeeze out as much time as you can.
Some people, that's all they want to do. They don't want to do nothing else. They just Back to the Future in the courthouse where this thing was filmed.
Yeah.
I'm staying there.
On the set.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And the amount of cosplay that's going to happen. They want to get photos everywhere, photos with the characters, maybe content purposes, all sorts of things are going to be happening. So people want to stay there a long time, not just be 45 minutes. I don't know how it's going to play out. I kind of hope, this is just me as a fan. I hope I could just stay down there if I want to. I don't want to leave. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. The whole logistics of all this, I don't know how it's going to play out. We'll see, dude. We will see. Let me bring up this other thing, Danny. I have to show this real quick. Let me see. I have to show this. I can't believe this is happening. This is a video from Attractions 360. Wanda is using her abilities. She's doing drones, fireworks, music. They're going all out for Wanda. But us here in Avengers Campus, California Adventure, we don't get nothing. Did you have a chance to see this or get a glimpse of all this, Daddy?
I did. They've been doing some really cool stuff at their Avengers Campus in Paris.
Yeah.
That we just don't have. And, our Avengers Campus officially now doesn't have any entertainment. Aren't they? Didn't the Taskmaster show end too, or is it ending soon?
No more stunt show, dude. They had that last day like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't. Spider-Man maybe flies through the air still, but I don't know. I don't think he
Yeah,
does the
I think
flying
that's the
horse.
only thing. The Spider-Man Stuntronic still does his fly moment, and then you can still meet and greet with the characters. And they might be still doing like the characters standing on top of the building, like looking down at people.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a thing. I don't know if that's still doing it. We don't have the Sanctum show. We've kind of just really lost everything, and I wonder if they're just waiting for essentially like the second part of Avengers Campus so they can rebrand the whole land as like all brand new at the same time, which they like to do that too. So
I see. It's just a new experience. The other one was just
yeah.
a tease. To me, this is kind of an odd time to just like show love to Wanda. She did die recently in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. A lot of people say she didn't die, but that's just where we're at right now. I hope I don't know what they call this Wanda show. I hope this comes to our campus. I want drones and fireworks and all this good greatness at our Avenger campus. Like, we need this love too, man. Paris and the drones, whoever's in charge out there, they're just going so hard. Every time there's a new update in Paris, they're doing more drones, new cool drone stuff. It's insane, insane. Um, Let me see. Danny, is there anything in particular you want to talk about?
Not really. We're kind of in a weird waiting space at Disneyland. There's not really a lot to report on at Disney. So we'll probably be doing a lot of Q&A today. But yeah, we're as of today wrapping up the final day of the Food and Wine Festival. So tomorrow, there will be no Food and Wine Festival at DCA. There will be the only event happening currently still is Star Wars Season of the Force. So, and Mondo, did we actually ever get confirmation that Skywalker, the Skywalker projection show goes beyond Season of the Force?
That Wanda show was Hong Kong. It was Hong Kong.
Oh, not Paris. Okay.
Yeah, Hong Kong. What did you say again, Danny?
Did we ever get confirmation that the Star Wars Skywalker show is going to be beyond Season of the Force?
Dude, nobody knows. Nobody knows. I feel like we should reach out to Scott Gustin. I don't know if he would know, but he would probably be one of the better people to ask. I have a feeling
so right
the
now
Skywalker show is something they want to run till Halloween, probably through Halloween. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, so we are in this weird waiting period because we don't have really anything going on at Disneyland other than Star Wars Season of the Force. We won't have anything at DCA after today. And we're just going to be, after the Food and Wine Festival starts coming down, we're really going to start to see decor popping up all over the resort for the 70th. And we're probably going to see 70th merchandise come, in addition to what we've already got with the Celebration collection. So we'll start to see items from the Castle collection and like that retro, kind of more gothic collection too as well. So we'll have to keep an eye out on D-Lander and all that other stuff. Arnott's Adventures asking Mondo if we had a chance to make it to Knott's Berry Farm for Boysenberry Festival for our round 2.
We're gonna go this week, right?
We didn't have a chance to go. We didn't have a chance to go on Friday, like we had planned, just because some stuff came up with Mondo's family, so he's got to take care of that. But we will be going again for sure. This week. Sure. And then I know we should probably pull that up real quick, Mondo, Knott's Boysenberry Festival, because there is a period where we're going to transition now into weekends. So let me look at the guide. I'm trying to look at the calendar.
I feel like our Knott's Adventure probably has the whole weekend thing. Are we in that? We're in that time period now. May 18th. This goes deep. Wow.
They extended it. They extended it, but we here we go. Calendar. So it's still Boysenberry Festival this next week, Mondo. all this week for the whole week. So we're so good that any day this week. It's starting the next week. So the next week is when we start to see the weekend situation. So it looks like, from what I can see, let me go back to May, April. Yeah, so it's the second week. So it's the very, very last week of April. Sunday the 27th is the last day that it's like every day.
Yeah.
And then starting Monday the 28th, Boysenberry Festival will be dark, and it won't be back until Friday, May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then dark again during the week. So in the month of May, it's going to be just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only until May 18th.
Okay.
And then Knott's Soak City opens on the 17th, which is the final weekend of the Boysenberry Festival.
Brian says there's supposed to be a different show for Halloween for Batu projections. Have you heard anything about that? I haven't heard nothing about that. That's new to me. Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that either. No.
Brian, where'd you hear that? What could it be? Maybe like, gosh, I don't even know what I would want. Mandalorian, for all we know. They're going full
Darth
Mando.
Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul. What's up, Nate? Do you think the first HHN announcement will be before or after the opening of Epic Universe? I'm going to say after. That'll be my guess. I feel like they're waiting to June for some reason. I'd say after. What's your guess, Danny?
I think probably after. I mean, they want all focus to be on Epic Universe right now. Even Universal Hollywood, even though they have nothing to do with it, they are gonna go all in on FanFest nights, and that's all they're gonna care about. And then there's gonna be a brief reprieve as they focus on heavy marketing in the month of May for Epic Universe as it opens on the 22nd. So I feel like even, kind of Universal Studios Hollywood's going to take a step back, or maybe even reposting some of Epic Universe stuff just to kind of like help showcase that. And then potentially afterward, we'll see some announcements. So that's kind of how I feel.
I feel the same.
Isn't that weekend the Midsummer Scream anyway?
No.
Because that was the reason why you didn't want to go, right? Oh no, it's the Vegas opening weekend.
Horrors Unleashed, yeah. Epic Universe opening date. What is opening date? I don't even know. May 22nd.
May 22nd.
Wow, we are like about a month away. My gosh, that's wild. I have a feeling they're gonna wait till June. But yeah, like Danny's saying, all the Universals are going to probably synergize together to promote the hell out of Epic.
And FanFest nights is going to be like such a priority because they still haven't sold out all the days, right? And they're going to keep pushing that until all days are sold out. So
yeah, FanFest tickets. I'm curious. I don't know if anything's sold out. Let's take a look. Tickets. General admission. We're just going to look at general. 74. I just want one. Yeah, nothing has sold out. Yeah, no sold out dates. You can still buy.
Yeah, so they're going to keep. So I don't think we're going to hear anything about HHN until they've kind of successfully marketed what they want for FanFest nights.
Mm-hmm. We got Gomes Super Chat. A little late to the chat. Missed the HHN talk, but still firing it up. What's up, Gomes? Happy Sunday, my friend. Happy Sunday. Thank you for the Super Chat. A cast member told me they said different show for Christmas as well. What? I'll ask around. I haven't heard nothing like that, but I'll ask. That's interesting. That's interesting. But thank you, Gomes, for firing it up, man. Let me see. Let me see. Dude, look at this, Danny. I think it was Tommy Toon. Tommy? Is it Tommy? Dude, look at this. WrestleMania has ended. Right here, Danny.
Well, that Rudio posted the same video, but his
my.
got like tons of views.
Oh, no, this is 20 minutes ago. Like, this is happening right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, yesterday was just as miserable as this. I don't know how that many people get out of that area. That's just going to be wild. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. They should turn Dungeons and Dragons into a HHN house. I don't know. I don't know if Dungeons and Dragons would allow that, though. Mondo, Danny, what news for Star Wars Celebration are you guys most anticipating? Well, they already announced everything. For me, the most exciting thing is the Grogu mission, just because we'll be able to do it. You know what I mean? The movies, it's hard to be excited for. Even the shows, it's like, do they happen? Do they happen in a decent time? I don't know. Anything that excited you the most from Star Wars Celebration, Danny?
I kind of got excited about the Ryan Gosling announcement, and then I think didn't they announce something too for what's his name, Darth Maul?
Yeah, Darth Maul's gonna get a show.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for that.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. It would be cool. I'm always excited for Darth Maul. I want to talk about this, Danny. Shout out to Scott Gustin for tweeting this info out. Paint the Night coming May 16th, around the corner. And the times got posted 8:45 and 10:45. A lot of people were like...
Dude, guest control is...
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people were like, isn't that like too close to fireworks? And isn't it too late? And I'm like, I don't really remember Paint the Night at Disneyland, how it worked out. But DCA, I feel like it was just like that. Is this the norm, Danny?
Dude, that is just brutality. Brutality.
So that means... Oh,
dude,
crowded.
I don't even know how that's gonna work, because the fireworks are at 9:30, and I feel like the parade that short then? Like, did they shorten it? Are we gonna have less floats? Because like, it's got to make its way all the way. Like, sometimes, like, you know, when it's first kicking off, it takes like 20 minutes to get to you, even like when you're on the beginning of Main Street. So it's like, is the parade shorter? What does that mean? I don't know. So like 8:45 is pretty close. They're going that Phantasmic method where you're, dude, just imagine midsummer.
I don't know how to S show.
Mondo,
Danny,
imagine midsummer. Imagine midsummer. We're in the middle of July during the 70th. You got Phantasmic going off on the left side of the park at 9. You got Paint the Night at 8:45, and then it runs right into the fireworks at 9:30, and then you've got another Phantasmic going off at 10:30, and then you have another Paint the Night at 10:45. So and then sometimes when they want to add a third Phantasmic, if they ever do that.
Yeah. Josh is saying this is the same as Electrical Parade.
Okay. So they but yeah, they're going that Phantasmic route, Mondo, where you watch Phantasmic and then they just say, don't move, you're gonna watch the fireworks show right now. So I think that's what they're gonna do, is they're gonna just, like, everyone's waiting along the parade route to watch the fireworks, and then you're probably just gonna be asked to fill in the street, in the middle of the street. Like, the cast members are gonna come up and they're gonna, like, yell at everyone to, like, get in the street, or they'll move the railings, like the ropes, to like herd the street in the middle like they normally do, you know, when people are watching the fireworks. So, which the nice thing is, I wonder if the first showing of Paint the Night, as far as the dining package goes, if you'll be able to just stay in your spot to watch the fireworks.
Worth even more money. I would assume yes. You probably can stay in your spot. I know people are saying these are the same times as Electrical Parade. I just have a feeling Disneyland's trying to go harder with the crowds this time around. And Paint the Night, in my opinion, has more hype than Electrical Parade. This is going to be pretty crazy. Talk about just having, I don't know, 10,000 people through a parade route just kind of stay in one spot for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we got Rope Drop Nation in the chat, Mondo, that says, I remember watching Paint the Night and you would just flood Main Street after the show was done.
It was horrible. Everybody, oh man. What? People camp Wondrous in general, and now we're talking about Paint the Night and Wondrous. And then
that's the funny thing, Mondo.
Summer crowd.
That's the funny thing. It was like you were one of those people that would camp Wondrous, and so now this pretty much makes it so you cannot camp fireworks. There's like literally no way.
Yeah,
you're watching the fireworks. You're watching Paint the Night in the area that you want to watch the fireworks in, and then as soon as the parade's done, you're gonna have to like bum rush the spot that you want and stake it as your own.
Yeah. Damn. I'm cool with watching Wondrous from the back of Main Street. I don't have to be in the heart of it. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. If you want the more calm experience, obviously 1045 is good. But I don't doubt 1045 is packed too, honestly. Like, we're talking about summer crowds. People want to see Paint the Night. People want to see Paint the Night 2 times, not just once. They want to see it twice. Oh, man. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, Danny, because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Brutality. It's going to be some brutal moments in the summer with the heat and the crowding like this, like Arnott's Adventure was saying in the chat. People don't reapply deodorant in the summer. No thanks.
I need to remember that too. Oh man. Is there any Disney news, Danny, that you wanted to bring up?
No, like I said, the only thing that really kind of happened was we started to see Disney start using the facial recognition at the turnstiles, and when it works really well. It's going to take a period where people get used to it. One thing that really isn't, and I don't know how this works in Paris, because like I haven't been to Paris before, but these are the same turnstiles that they have in Paris. And I don't know if like everyone in Paris just has their own ticket and it's like makes it really easy, but like we tend to be of the, you know, this local group in Southern California, especially like family groups, tends to be like, oh, this person has like 50 persons passes on their phone. And so they sit there and they're like swiping through, scanning them all. And normally a person would just sit there and like, okay, scan this one. Okay, scan this one, then scan this one. And then they like look for all the people. And it makes it difficult because the one, when we were encountering the facial recognition, it worked flawlessly when it was just one person who had either the magic band or had their phone would approach the podium to scan it. The facial recognition would immediately scan it and open. But the problem is for that mom that would stand there at the turnstile scanning all of the people's tickets in her family, and the facial recognition kept scanning her face, and it would show up on the facial, scanning her face over and over again for every ticket, and it would like deny it, and then the cast member had to like come over and let him in. So there's going to be like a little bit of a learning curve. I think people are just used to like approaching the gate, you know, with
like 4 tickets.
And as soon as that process takes a long time and they get really irritated, you best believe they're going to start selling magic bands, because the mom's going to be like, you just go up there and you tap your magic band and get away from me. Yeah. I just want you to go through fast. So, like, I think they're going to have to break that habit of everyone sitting there scanning everyone's ticket, because it doesn't work, because if there's two people standing too close to the facial recognition, it grabs whatever one it sees first. And it may not be the person whose ticket they're scanning.
I don't know.
So
Last time
that
I
was
wore this, but now that the the new turnstiles work, I gotta use this. This is nice.
Yeah.
Bling. I'm gonna have to remember to use this thing. That's true, Dan.
Do you have a cruise line one, Mondo?
Yeah, I got everything. I got Walt Disney World, the Disney Cruise Line right here. I don't know if it comes out. I got
the big black eye channel.
Walt Disney World pass holder one that I used to have.
The big black eye channel says it perfectly. The mom or the dad or whoever's scanning them all just has to remember to stand off to the side. And the problem was they were like, when we were encountering it, the mom was like literally standing directly in front of the screen trying to sit there and scan them. They just need to get used to like a new process, right? They're just used to like showing to the cast member and then scanning through as the cast member scans it. So it's just a little bit of a process. So at first when it starts, you'll either see it be like really fast and amazing, or it's going to be irritating to you because people are going to be like taking forever to get through, and they're going to be so confused, and it's going to scan the wrong person, and like it's going to be a learning curve. But then once people figure it out, it's going to be fine.
We got Big Rags, 19 months. Happy Easter on 420. Everybody salute Mondo, Danny, by fire. Oh yeah, Big Rags. Happy Sunday, man. Happy Easter, my friend. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for 19 months. Let's go. There's one thing we got.
Now you can go. Now you can do the bleep bloop bloop.
Bling.
Bleep, bloop,
I
blop.
totally forgot about, because when I think of Disneyland and magic bands, they don't correlate. Like, they're irrelevant to each other. But now that we got the new turnstile thing, I think it's I could be cool. I could wear my magic band. I just didn't think about it. Saw Sinners. It was next level cinema. We'll talk about Sinners in a little bit because Danny saw it too. I want to go to this real quick, Danny, because this came out of nowhere. Small World was pushed back to May 9th. May 9th, not the 29th, which is around the corner. We're going to get Small World with Miguelito added. And if I'm not mistaken, the last verse, right? We get the last verse at the same time. There's no delay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts, Danny? Or they just need more time to, I guess, refurb it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of the par for the course with Disneyland these days, right? No, I don't think a single thing has ever met its deadline in the last like 5 years. So I think we're just on
even
the
the wall
track.
animatronic got pushed back.
I think it's just the way it is. Like, that's unexpected, not to be unexpected, right? It's like
it is what it is.
So
a ride's gonna break down on your Disneyland trip. It's just the norm. Yeah, I haven't heard any other changes other than like what they already announced. So I guess they just need more time. There's another thing I want to go over too, Danny. Oh man, where is it? Right here. There it is. Did we talk about Raising Cane's last time? I don't remember. I don't think we did.
We didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's officially confirmed at City Walk now. And it looks like a cool location for it, honestly.
Did you ever go?
Prime spot.
Did you ever go in a Dongpo? I really don't even remember. I don't know what it looks like in there. Some people are saying it's kind of big. Because it wasn't.
It's big. It's big, and they're going to need the space because this thing's going to be busy. Busy.
And
always.
I was talking it over with my girlfriend, and I was like, why Raising Cane's? Like, so random. And she's like, where's another Raising Cane's in that area? Where? There isn't.
There isn't.
So I was like, damn, sold, moneymaker. All these people, the Raising Cane hype's gonna go nuts here, dude. It's gonna be packed. Like,
yeah.
Raising Cane's
And also,
and
like,
a movie.
a lot of people, Mondo, I was gonna say, a lot of people go to Universal to watch movies if they're local, even if they're not even going to Universal. Like, that's a major movie theater for a lot of people. So just to come have dinner and go to the movies, like, that's gonna be like prime spot right there. And it'll probably be like Uber Eats, DoorDash Central as well.
That's true, dude. Because I couldn't tell you how close another Raising Cane's is to this one, but it's not close. It's not close. Like, I kind of wish it was a Zanku chicken. I know there's one down the street, but like, I like Zanku chicken.
Yeah, the Giant Peter show, Mondo says the closest Raising Cane's is Burbank, and it has zero parking, base zero parking, so it's an S show.
Ain't nobody going to that one no more. They're all going to go to City Walk. Yeah, it's not close. People love those chicken tenders. My kids can't wait for it to open. Yeah, no, and a lot of people too on Twitter are like, imagine just getting the sweet tea, and then going to Horror Nights. I was like, that's true. That's a nice
Sign me
combo.
up. Sign me up.
Sign me up. I don't even have to get the chicken. I can just go get some sweet tea and then just head on to Horror Nights. There is another thing. Man, I gotta bring it up because it was kind of a big deal. So FanFest themselves pumped out this photo. This is Xanathar. This is a 12-foot ginormous creature that will be in Dungeons and Dragons Secrets of Waterdeep. This is the walkthrough that's coming to FanFest. I've actually seen this thing in person already. It's ridiculous. His eyes are going to move, lighting effects, audio, all sorts of crazy stuff are going to happen. But I just wanted to show this. Danny, what are your thoughts on FanFest going this hard? Because this is crazy, dude. First year event, and they're going all out. All out.
Yeah, they're really trying to make their own After Dark event, right? Like, Disney always had Oogie Boogie Bash, and then now they started dabbling in After Dark events, and it was successful for them. So they have one of the most successful After Dark events, aka Halloween Horror Nights, but it's only happening at one time a year. So Universal's trying to replicate that success, and if they picked a bunch of franchises they thought would work really, really good to bring out the crowds. And hopefully next year we see some other things be added, like Jurassic. I was kind of bummed we didn't get Jurassic this year, but maybe we're going to see something about that with the summer event that's unnamed still coming. So we'll have to wait and see.
Unnamed? How is it a name? We're almost in May, dude. What? Wild. Danny, what I want to ask, does Disneyland care about this stuff? Because this is pretty absurd, dude. This is an After Dark event. We're finally going to see it come to life, but from what it looks like, this is going to be a banger, dude. From all aspects, storytelling, unique experience, IP-driven, and there's just a lot going into it. And we got Star Wars nights that are not even selling out, empty. They got to give away tickets to cast members. Do you think Disneyland cares about their competitor doing stuff like this? Like, what? All of a sudden, they're creeping into, April, May-ish with After Dark events, which they never have. What do you think, dude?
I think so. I think they care because they have had really good success with After Dark events, but just like Epic Universe, Disney World has been the most successful theme park, and in all the people that are saying like Disney is cooked and all that stuff with Epic Universe, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think Disney Lifestylers, she actually posted the best take on it. She was saying that Disney's is going to be fine from Epic Universe. They're not going to be affected in the sense that like they're no longer relevant. But what it does do is it sets the standard moving forward as the gold standard for future technology and innovation in theme park space, and really, like, if Disney doesn't compete or have an answer to something similar as far as their new offerings, then the gap will become more apparent. And I think the same goes with FanFest nights. It's like Disney's already had really successful After Dark events that people love,
Yeah.
and they continue to do them, but some people are kind of like feeling like they're getting a little stale, right? They're like kind of not what they need to be, or some of them, like, you know, some people didn't really like what they did for 90s night. I personally loved it, but I can't speak for everyone, right? Everyone has their own experience, and some people thought it was better the first time around, and they feel like each time we have an After Dark event, they just keep getting budget cut and less budget, and then, you know, not any fault of the teams that put it on, but it's probably like, you know, the executives saying, okay, you only have this much budget, make it work, kind of thing. And so if this is really successful and they've spent a lot of money on this, then, you know, people will ultimately compare this to like After Dark events at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And they don't want that negative conversation continuing with this as well too. So it's good because it brings competition. Anytime we have competition, it's going to make the other people try to offer something better to stay competitive.
Yeah.
And so I think it's good in that aspect.
My first thought is the amount of money that is being spent from Universal on this FanFest event, Disneyland would never. I feel like they just won't. They don't go out. They don't go all out like that for After Dark events. Their closest is kind of Oogie Boogie because they kind of build sets for, you know, the specific character, but not really. All I'm saying, I hope it pushes Disneyland to be like, you know what, we gotta go hard. We'll do some storytelling at our event because it would be awesome. I don't know what kind of stuff Disneyland could create. Walkthroughs all of a sudden come to After Dark event at Disneyland. That would be insane. Sold out. Money makers. Is there anything in specific, Danny, like just off the top of your head where Disney could be like, you know what, we want to create a walkthrough? What would it be? And we can't say, what's that Redwood Creek Challenge Trail thing with the lights?
Mm-hmm.
What is that thing called again?
Villains Grove?
Villains Grove. Oh my gosh. But what is something, like if Disneyland wanted to or tried to, what would be a good option? Like a walkthrough?
They honestly, they don't even need to do like walkthrough experiences. If they want to, they're
like, hey, we want to spend money to one of our After Dark events. Let's do a walkthrough. What would be they could do
well, it'd be really easy, honestly. They could just do like highly themed like moments for like basically like for Star Wars night, right? So they can go to like Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and you could have like actors and, you know, entertainers be in the like the waiting area of the Falcon where like the chess table is, because you're on the Falcon at that point, right? You're standing on the ship, so there could be someone there. They can make it a whole experience. They could make it like you know, you're meeting people and like it's more interactive. Same with like Avengers Campus. They could do something there and make it. They just got to make like a more storytelling driven experience.
Yeah,
which is what Universal is trying to do with this.
That's what I'm trying to say, because the After Dark events, there is no storytelling. Man, I'm trying to think. You know, stage.
But 12... they could even do like the original plan. The original plan, Mondo, was to have, you know, bounty hunters and just like mobsters be in the bar, Oga's Cantina, and you know, maybe that for next Star Wars night they could actually have droids, multiple droids all around Galaxy's Edge. Like they worked with that outside guy that created Chopper to have Chopper and Hera, or Medulla Oblongata, as Mondo calls her. They had Chopper. That wasn't Disney made, right? They worked with someone who made that outside, and they used it during the whole time. So like, get all those people that make all those droid makers in the community get them to have all their droids just going all around Star Wars land, and having the bounty hunters in the bar and the cantina, and having like all those characters we saw personally walking around on day one of Star Wars Season of the Force, and then plus you got the projection show. I feel like that alone would just bring like life to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge you don't normally see, and that's what people would want in a Star Wars night, a night where they could like cosplay and do that. And see, Universal's really pushing for that, like, hey, cosplay, come
FanFest nights,
live out a.
FanFest nights is pushing cosplay to the hardest.
Yeah, they're saying like, come live out a Red Alert moment on Star Trek. Like you wanted to do that, like, come here and sit in this chair and like live that out when you're dressed up in your full Star Trek uniform, like, and be like, pretend like you're the one that's having that moment. Like, that's what Disney needs to do when it comes to these experiences, is like really push like people coming in with these costumes and stuff, like they do for D23.
Dude, it's gonna be sick. Friday. You know what it sounds like to me? The most cost-efficient method, just go full out. Characters everywhere. Galaxy's Edge, everywhere. Not just Disney, Star Wars, all the George Lucas. Just go hard as hell. Like 10 Mandalorians, stormtroopers of all sorts everywhere. You know what would be the good one too, Danny? The drone starfighters come out in the sky, and that's a moment, dude. Just the most characters you ever seen just come to Galaxy's Edge, and the story aspect would be the hard one, but having them be in the cantina, having them be in the Millennium Falcon, like in the waiting area, that is genius. Cause like, dude, at that point, like you're in the universe. Like, imagine Han just like sitting in that one area in the Millennium Falcon, just like, what? I'm talking to Han and Chewie's right here, right before I get on the ride. Oh man.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat mode have been asking over and over again if you're going to be live on Friday or if you're filming a vlog.
Live. We're gonna be live. As much as I wanted to film a vlog, I'll just do that day 2. But everybody, in my opinion, for FanFest, they want to see it now, right here, right now. We will be live Friday, FanFest. I don't know where the hell we start. Maybe Back to the Future. That's kind of the thing I want to see first. And then maybe we revert back to the future at the end of the night so we can see it in the day and night. But yeah, that's my goal. I want to be live. We got Wallin Ballin. What's up, dog? Disneyland should do Pirates event where the park is open at night and there are roving bands of pirates going through the park. Jack Sparrow, of course, but all of the pirate characters, including Davy Jones, sell alcohol since it's for a special event. Rum in particular. Dude, that would be sick. I like the idea. A pirates night. And that's not far off. They did a whole event just for Haunted Mansion. Do you remember that one, Danny? And it was like $300. It might have been $345. The 50th or something. There was some ridiculous price tag on that. Can pirates carry its own weight? In this day and age, can Pirates carry its own After Dark event, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it could, and they're planning on making another one too.
Ooh, I think Pirates could. There's quite a bit of characters that could come to life from that show, or not show, but the movies. And not even that. If they pump the whole cosplay aspect too, dude, we're gonna see so many pirates. It's gonna be insane. Let me see. They had a bunch of droids around Main Street the first year of Star Wars. I was there. I got to see them all. It was like 20 R2-D2s. It was insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that never saw it again. Did you get a reservation for July 17th? What is that day? What's July 17th?
That's the actual birthday of Disneyland, the actual 70th birthday.
I don't care because Disneyland doesn't care about that day.
Well, but that's the day the Walt animatronic statue debuts.
Never mind. I care totally. My first reaction to Disneyland's birthday is usually Disneyland never cares. They don't care. They literally do not. A button comes out. Like you get a button. I feel like they cared about Disneyland birthday a lot, like 2018, 2019 era. But ever since the pandemic, they don't care. But
I did not get July 17th.
I got too many. My reservations are all locked in for the current stuff, the 70th. I totally forgot. I keep thinking Walt animatronic is coming out with the 70th, but it's not. I got to remember that.
Nope.
All right. They could do a pirate battle on the rivers of America.
They did that. They had that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They had a pirate stunt show on Rivers of America.
For the movie?
Yeah. Well, in general, it was just like a summer thing.
What? It was a summer thing?
Yeah. The stuff, the infrastructure, Mondo, for the pirate stunt show is still there to this day. It just sits there. You see it when you see it when you're watching Fantasmic and looking at Rivers of America. It just sits. It's like sitting there.
Look at that, 17 years ago. What the heck is this? How long was this show, Danny?
It was pretty long.
And it had Jack Sparrow in specific?
Yeah.
What? Dude. The things we find out. Okay, yes, a Pirate After Dark event, easily. They've done a stunt show before, too?
Yeah.
Did you like the stunt show? Like, was this something cool back then?
I did, yeah. And here I sent you. This was the... so when they rethemed Tom Sawyer's Island into Pirate's Lair, the day that Tom Sawyer's Island opened as Pirate's Lair is the day that show debuted. So I sent you a link to a website that showed you Disney released that concept art when they announced Pirate's Lair because they said that stunt show was coming, and that's the concept art that we got for the Pirate stunt show. It's that one right there, the second picture.
Whoa! I never seen that.
Yeah, so they had that like flag that would like hang out over the water, and the pirate would climb it, and it would like swing out over the water. And they have the boat on the railing still like attached to the island. It's like that's part of the show.
Wow! What in the Baba Freak? Why don't we ever? Why did this leave? Was this like marketed as part of like Pirates of the Caribbean movies kind of like media thing, or this just kind of came?
Well, yeah, it was all centered around that because the Pirates Lair took over Tom Sawyer's Island in like the heyday of the movies. And I think it was like Dead Man's Chest, because if you guys have been to Pirates Lair, like if you've been into the cave, like Injun Joe's cave or whatever it is, it has like Davy Jones' heart in the chest, and that's all from like the Dead Man's Chest movie. Yeah. So like most of this, and like the shipwreck on the island, when you're in it, you can hear like waves crashing and like Davy Jones' like ghost voice and stuff like that. There was so much interaction stuff that was a part of it all. And then of course the only place you could meet Captain Jack Sparrow besides seeing him in this show was on the island. So you had to make your way over to the island and wait in line at that treasure chest area that you see there that's been abandoned now. Yeah. Because that used to be his meet and greet.
Wow. Dude, Disney could totally do a Pirates After Dark event. It would be a banger. My gosh. Dude, I'm mind blown right now, Danny. What the heck? This needs to come back. What the heck?
I can't remember when did Pirates Lair open?
Let me play
Let's
this again.
see.
Dude. Oh.
Pirates Lair opened on May 25th, 2007. So it was 2007. So just after the 50th anniversary.
Wow, dude, I'm just like shook. Shook. Man, I always learn something new, Danny. Thank you. Wow. We got Benji! What's up, Fire community? Hope all is well. If you haven't done so yet, take a moment, fire up them thumbs up. Let's go. Hit the like button. I love you, baby. 35 months. Oh, my lantern. Hell yeah. Dude, I'm shook. I am freaking shook. What? It's so crazy. All right. My Alyssa's asking, and she says it looks insane. I've seen little glimpses of this. Let me go to it real quick. We have to talk about it because I do feel like they're going extremely hard, and that's Hong Kong's 20th anniversary. They gave us all these concept arts of what's to come, and it's pretty incredible. They're gonna get a new fireworks show. They're gonna get, if I'm not mistaken, a new parade. Look at that. That's the new floats, Danny. They don't want to ever go hard again, man. Let me see. Obviously, new outfits, too. There it is. That's the one I wanted. Look at this, dude. Just dirty. Yeah, Hong Kong got the dirty setup. They got the World of Color, projections, castle, fireworks, drones. My gosh. Projections down Main Street. Obviously, new food. Any thoughts on all this 20th anniversary? You know, we got Disneyland doing 70th.
There's a whole Duffy and Friends float in that parade too.
It's not in the concept art, right? Maybe a part.
It is, and they gave a concept art for it. I just don't. It's not in the post that you're looking at.
Yeah. This one? No, that's just Mickey. Is it this one? Duffy, where you at? Nope. My only thoughts, this looks absolutely beautiful. I kind of wish Disneyland went that hard for the 70th. But I guess the 20th is just a big deal. They probably have a crazy ass budget. It's cool. Any thoughts, Danny?
No, I mean, I think it's going to be cool. The nice part about, I mean, from what I've been seeing lately on social media about Hong Kong Disneyland, it's kind of just not like doing very well. It's like the crowds are really low. So if you wanted to go to Hong Kong Disneyland, they all the people who are making TikToks and like videos about it, it just looks like there's not really any crowds, so they can like walk on a lot of stuff. So if you're trying to go to see all this, it might be like a really good experience for you to do so.
Dude, I didn't know it wasn't doing good. I don't keep up with like the international parks. That's news to me. Wow. I wonder why. Like, I feel they got a lot of cool stuff in Hong Kong Disney, so that's why it's like surprising to hear that. Wow. I had no idea. All right, Danny, closing thoughts. And if you have any content or anything on the horizon, let people know.
Yeah. We have, like I said, our big focus this week is going to be, potentially any signs coming from Disneyland as far as the 70th as we get closer and closer and closer. Also, it's going to be FanFest nights, right? So potentially I might be joining Mondo on Friday, so we'll see. But it's going to be a lot of fun either way. And he just said he's going to be live, so if you want to watch and plan to spend your Friday night watching the live stream for everything FanFest nights, including Mondo trying to go to the bathroom weird, eating some food from some of those blue drinks and that red cupcake that's just gonna make you go to the bathroom red for days.
The older I get, I kind of try to stay away from the food coloring stuff. The red 40s and the blue 5s and whatever, yellow 10s. And I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of food coloring coming our way. We'll see how this all plays out.
But as far as me, I do have a video coming out tomorrow. So you guys can check that out on the channel. Just search for 5571, or you can search Just Ask Danny. It'll come up either way. And the new video will be there. If you haven't already watched my Boysenberry Festival vlog, you can watch that. It's up there too. But I'll have a new one with some Disneyland updates for what's new and what's happening. That'll be up there, and then hopefully we'll have something to report on this week, and maybe even get a chance to not only do FanFest nights but Boysenberry Festival. Lot to do.
Heck yeah. My closing thoughts. I can't believe FanFest is here, and to finally see a new event come to life, it's going to be really cool. The coolest part is that I have a pass, and I could just go as many times as I want as the event goes. That's pretty insane in itself. I also want to bring this up real quick. I did have a chance to watch Sinners. I didn't know it was about vampires and demons and whatever it was about. But I thoroughly enjoyed that movie, and I brought it up on X that it should probably be a horror night house. I really feel like it would be a great one too. But I really enjoyed the movie. There was like a couple things that were bugging me, and then I found out about vampire lore a little bit afterward, and I was like, that makes a lot more sense now on certain things. But Sinners is a banger. Anybody wants a movie to go watch Sinners. There's a lot of garbage out there in the theater right now, but Sinners is not one of them. It's really good. Do you have a 30-second, 1-minute review, Danny, of Sinners?
It was good. I enjoyed the soundtrack a lot. I really love that, and I've been listening to it as well too. It's a kind of horror movie where you're kind of getting like over the top blood, like the way Kill Bill does it, where it's just like so exaggerated it doesn't look real. So if you're worried about like really bad gore, like we're not talking the level of like Terrifier gore here.
Yeah, no.
It's like exaggerated gore in the sense of like Kill Bill, I feel. And in that aspect it's cool. It's not like a ton of jump scares. There's very few jump scares in it. So it's more so a thought-provoking movie and storytelling than it is like a jump scare horror movie, So if you're worried about that, it's not that.
Yeah, like I don't even know if there was one jump scare. Like I never was like, oh. it was just like
yeah, the door, Mondo.
I guess. Sinners is just good. It like grew on me the more I like thought about it, and like the next day I was like, I really enjoyed that actually. I not right away, but I did. I really did. But I'm excited. I can't wait to see Disneyland finally start decorating and the merch to arrive. I can't wait to finally see that. But for me, expect a lot of Universal this week. That'll be my focal point. Maybe I make my way out of Disneyland one day, but Universal...
Maybe Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Universal and Knott's. Those are like my priority this week. Maybe I'll sprinkle in one Disney day. But thank you, Danny. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this beautiful, happy Easter Sunday. If you haven't already, smash that like button. We are firing it down. The Cali Bay, Just as Danny, are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.